What's up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 171, presented by Edge VR Arcade, Creative Edge Productions, and Cousin Subs with promo code
GBB Fries.
You can get free fries with a sub in a bowl or 7.5-inch sub. Did not change that yet, so
Okay.
I probably owe them an email. So yeah,
Okay. We're halfway through the season.
yeah. And it's been 2 weeks since we had an episode due to the holiday. So
Yeah. Holiday, we saw a movie.
Yeah.
We can talk about that later, but right now, we got stuff on the table,
we got
Ryan.
stuff on the table. We won this past weekend.
Oh, do you want to talk about that game first?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that game. Let's talk about that game against Fisher Freight.
Yep.
First time in our building.
Yes.
It was an eventful game, I will say that. And it was a very special, I will say this about the game. Yes, we won, but to me, it was a very special game in the sense that this is one of the games, and we talked about this the previous episodes, that some of the staff came up with the idea. This wasn't a Ryan, Kathy generated idea, and it was a success.
Yes.
It was a success from the people that represented it. We had a lot of new people in the building, a lot of new families, a lot of new people excited about seeing an indoor game because they had never seen it and didn't realize how much fun it was. And I know our players don't like to hear this. It's not about the football. It's about the atmosphere. The football is part of that atmosphere, obviously. But they just love the fast-paced and just how the game is played.
Yeah.
So kudos to everybody. It went really well. Thank you to our internal staff. So Ben, it was very close to Ben's heart. Cass, Knapp, you guys did a great job of bringing that all together and bringing it to fruition. And although it wasn't a big crowd, and again, guys, we talk about this, we don't have big crowds once we hit June. We just don't. Kids were done with school on Friday. People went up north. People start camping. Yep. It's just tough to bring people in. It helps that all the games left are on Fridays because, yes, then you could go up north or camping Saturday. But it does impact in Wisconsin how many people we have in the stands.
For sure.
So as much as we try, that definitely doesn't have anything to do with the theme. It has to do with the time of year, unfortunately. But now we have a new one coming up. Unless you wanted more, if you wanted to give more kudos.
Breakthrough T1D has been thanked a bunch, but huge thank you to that organization that does a lot for diabetes in the Northeast Wisconsin area and all the med partners. I'm not going to rattle them off. Mackenzie Vanderblumen, who made that game possible, TDS Fiber, and our friends at 95.9 KISS FM. So, huge thank you. Yeah. That'll be one to continue to work on. It was a great first go of that. So, yeah.
And we had a lady with a crown on.
Yeah.
In the crowd.
So Miss Green Bay area 2025, Ella Weiss. So, and she is competing in the next step up from that. I forget what that is. Sorry. It was announced at the game, but and you can go back and watch the video from a couple weeks ago on that. So, yes.
All right. So this weekend we have another new theme. I think you guys did a great job on creating merch and jersey and ball. We showed this when we introduced the balls, but I really like this one. I like the cow. And then the cow bell is on there as well, which is really cool. So great job. And then we have a hat.
Yeah, that was really cool.
This is different.
It's a Wonder Sign masterpiece there.
Yes,
so,
very different. So this is our item of the game, kind of merch.
Yeah, that'll be for sale of the game. Yeah.
Okay.
Not to say there won't be more as we see how this game does and grow it, because we got asked a ton. I mean, from things as crazy as overalls to cow print shirts and stuff. But yeah, the hat was the good first step to see if people were like, yep, that theme's awesome. So and the ball turned out great. So
and the jerseys turned out great. They have the patches on them for being a cow, and you have some special sponsors on that one as well.
Yeah, Robinson, who great many years to us. Sam Thomas over there does some show animals. I believe his kids are involved, so I kind of knew it would be a good ask and had personal ties. And then Milk Source, brand new partner this year, the premium of show cows, and is located in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. So real cool. The videos have already been out. The photos are out there when we visited there with the players. Incredible group. And they've had their hands in our counterpart in the Appleton area when the T-Rats become the Udder Tuggers. That was really driven by the Milk Source Tidy View crew. So great conversation there. And one not on the jersey, a new partner for us and other teams in the league, Move Milk by Real Dairy. You will have first 1,000 fans getting to try that milk on game day this Friday. So,
Excellent.
Yep.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah. So
chocolate
delivery
milk?
was a little fun. Yeah. I think it's they were determining the mix last week. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Fabulous.
Yeah, and that was just a real cool partners helping partners thing. So we originally were going to try and deliver that to Hy-Vee, which was going to be real fun to get it to the rest from there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's actually going to a Schreiber warehouse in De Pere. Actually, when you see this episode, and we'll help the friends from Move get it over to the rest. But that was just kind of neat when they brought Schreiber in because they're a distributor, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. They sponsor us. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was
yeah.
neat.
So it's help. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's
So
all
not
about the
for
connection.
sale at the game.
No.
'Cause we, again, I think this one is something that will have surprised us in a good way as well. So
Yeah. Very good. I think people just like the different, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it is different, and we're excited to see it on the field. I don't know if they're going to wear a white helmet or a black helmet.
Sure.
Not sure. Don't know.
Right.
Don't know. But they do need to wear, well, I guess they could wear white or green under these.
Yep.
Jerseys, and these are the different jerseys. They're back to the stretchy
Yes,
jerseys.
yep.
Because this is through who is our vendor that we
OT
use?
Sports.
OT Sports for our theme jerseys.
Yep.
So it's a different fit
Yeah.
than the Adidas jerseys that we wear. our
Yeah, and the
normal
equipment
jerseys.
guys that saw it when they got delivered said the guys will love it. It'll
Yeah.
fit really good.
Yeah.
So we'll tie a bow on Friday. So just so everybody has the details, 7:05 game, 6 p.m. There will be a show cow out front from Milk Source Tidy View, and I believe he's bringing calves. Don't quote me on that too.
Ooh.
So there'll be that'll be pre-game. I believe it's just going to be 5:30 to 6:30. I'll know that once we walk it with the rush this week. Again, first 1,000 free milk, and then Busch Light is on special that night. Specialty game ball, new hat. Special jerseys. Don't think I missed anything.
And I'm sad because I can't be there.
Yeah.
I really want to be there.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. We have a guest today.
Yes. Very special guest.
He is a special guest.
Well, I mean,
How do you want to intro him?
I don't know. Should we kick off this guest segment?
Oh, we're gonna kick it off.
Well, we have a special guest.
We do.
Yeah, and he just appeared out of thin air thanks to some camera magic from HDR. It's a real neat trick. I like that.
That's good.
That's good.
Do you think people recognize who you are?
I hope so.
Do they know you're?
That's a great way to, all right.
Well,
great.
well,
I
no.
hope
Hold
so.
on. The reason why I say that is he's normally got a helmet on.
Yes.
Right. Granted, after the game, they do try and find you. And what is your number?
16,
And what is your name?
Andrew Mevis.
And what do you do?
I kick footballs through the uprights.
Amen. That's exactly
And
what
that's
you
a
do.
wrap.
And there we have it. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're really excited to have you, and it's funny, ironic, what have you. But I was gonna ask you to be on, and then all of a sudden, you were gone.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, when he's going to be gone, maybe he could come that Monday. But then you were leaving Sunday to go up to Canada, and then I saw you like a couple Sundays after at church, and I went, "Ooh, he's back, Ryan, he's back." But I do want to talk to you a little bit about that journey. I mean, everyone in the IFL is looking to get, just like you, up to that other level. Tell us about that journey. Not necessarily the drive, but the
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all everybody's goal on the team to move up, and I was contacted with the opportunity to go up there and show them what I could do and see what was going to happen. And so go up for training camp and go through the mini camp. All went really well. Enjoyed the experience. Enjoyed going up to Canada, And, it's just a part of our game. I mean, I made a lot of kicks and did well, and I think they like me. It's just they also have a guy who has been in the CFL for 9 years now, I think, and so competing with him, and he's one of the best ones, and I think I did pretty well and put my name out there, and so I guess we'll see what the future has with that. Games can change, guys get injured,
Absolutely.
and they are always wanting to have a short list, so hopefully I did well enough, and I believe I did well enough to be on their short list, so.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know how long, in the NFL, we see kickers, Green Bay had a kicker for, a long time. Crosby was with the team for a long time.
Pretty sure Packers leading scorer all time.
Yep. And with that being said, can you guys in these leagues, is 9 years long, or does he have another 4 or 5 in him to go?
Hey, it's all up to really him. Guys can go as long as they want, and there's so many factors that go into having a guy there, long time, short time, whether it's politics or coaches, and
Right.
just relationships that he's built within the organization, and then also what you put out on the field. And I think he's produced. He's been one of the best in the CFL. So it's just that was the team that I went to, and so. And competed against, and whether it was pushing him, they just believed he was still focused. So as long as he's focused, guys can play. So
Well, and we do that here too, right? You bring multiple quarterbacks in, even if you have the quarterback from last season who did well coming in, you still, like you said, to make sure he realizes there's competition, or to make sure he's on high alert, or what have you. But you're right, your name's out there now, you're on a list, and who knows what could develop. So congrats. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to have had the opportunity. But also, we're glad you're back.
Yeah.
And we're glad we're not playing against you. We're glad you're on our team. I do want to talk a little bit about kicking itself. So were you always a kicker?
So I played soccer growing up. As a lot of kickers say, and a lot of people are always like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
That makes sense now.
Yeah, and but I started kicking the football in 8th grade. And then as I got into high school, I had a really special coach that really taught me the fundamentals the right way from the beginning. And then just from there, just kind of skyrocketed. And then I was still playing soccer, and then that was kind of it was good, but football is what's going to kind of get you to college, because there's just more, it's America's game is football.
Right.
That's what kind of got me to college, and then just kept on going and trying to improve each and every year and get better and do the best I can. And then now we're here. So
Where'd you go to college?
I started out at Fordham University in New York, and then I transferred to Iowa State.
Okay. Excellent. And that's where you finished up?
Yes.
And what's your degree in?
Yeah, so at Fordham, I graduated with my business administration degree with concentrations in management, info systems, and then business and healthcare. And then I got my master's in family financial planning at Iowa State.
Wow. Look at that. I like talking about what you guys, went to school for, because so many people think it's only the sport. But the sport and your body only lasts for so long, and you have to be prepared for, what's next.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, excellent. Well, good for you. Let's talk a little bit about the position of kicking, because you guys are supposedly very superstitious. You're not? Okay.
I don't know what. I think I've grown out of my superstitions, and actually this indoor game has taught me a lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Because we always say, we can't talk to the kicker. Don't psych the kicker out. Oh, the kicker this, the kicker that. So that's not you.
No, I had got a good example of that from this last game. It was really funny, too.
Okay.
So Fisher's coach, right at halftime, the timeout happened.
Yeah.
And then I think they took it. And I saw that they had a couple on the clock.
They always try to ice the kicker.
Yeah, it's kind of known, and just gives me more time, and it's all good. So, but either way, I was like, I'm going to make the kick. But I'm going through my routine, and as he's running off, he's like, "Oh, you're going to miss it." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, right." And so I just, went through my normal routine, and knocked it through. I don't know why they wanted to challenge it, because it's pretty good. If they want to petition anything, petition to get some higher uprights around the league.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Well, and there was so much talk with that challenge. Like, why would he waste that on a kick when they were already so close in points to us? It didn't make much sense. And he clearly thought he saw something, or someone saw something, or told him something. But of all of the angles in our building to challenge, that is not the one to challenge,
Right.
because we have a great shot of those uprights. So, yeah, excellent.
Yeah, and what a lot of people don't know, he could have, the kick was going left to right, because I was kicking from the left hash and you're going across. And so if he's paying attention where the ball ends up, back
Right.
up top or back high in the back, it's like that. Yeah, it may not be in line because the ball went through, 20
Sure.
yards earlier or
Sure.
whatever. So sometimes people don't understand that, and so it's just how it works. So
So the one kick you did miss was Mevis's. Was Max's fault, right? Because I saw how he
no, it wasn't Max. wasn't
It
Max.
was on an angle.
No, our
So
protection
immediately
has been,
when it left your foot, it was. I'm sorry, Max, but it was your fault.
No, it's all good. Our protection has been really, really solid this year, and it just takes one time. And we had one guy kind of misjudge a block, and they had a good stunt. So they gave us something I don't think we've necessarily seen, and one guy just kind of misses, and then he just got his hand on that, I was surprised it went as far as it did. It still went far, and actually I don't think they counted it as a block in the stats, but which maybe we can get changed.
Could
so
we
he was
review
able to
that,
nick it.
Todd, please, and just see the true ruling on that?
Yeah, so it hit his hand, so that guy's hand. So,
Yeah.
but it's all good, and we made the next kicks and made the ones. We won the game, so that's good.
Yeah, we did. It was a great win. It was a great win. So kickers are, especially for us and where we practice, you don't necessarily practice with the team. You practice certain things, but you're not there at every practice because you can't truly kick
Yeah,
in that
can't kick
building.
every
The
day of the
ceiling
week,
is,
so.
the ceiling is too low in there. And how do you make sure that you're ready for game time? It's not just about the game day and you're out there. We see you're one of the first people on the field kicking. How do you prepare game week?
So I kick Tuesday and Thursdays, and then either I'll have a rest day in between game day or not. But so I go to practice, do everything with the unit that I can, and do kickoff stuff and do some squibs, 'cause since we can't put it in the air in that building. And then I usually go outside. I either go to Titletown or I go find a field on my own, and then I just kick and finish out the numbers to get my whatever you want to call, like pitch count or kick count. And so I get that in. And then I've also found out that I got to train with like the leather, like NFL footballs, and then I come in and kick.
Oh.
I've found that it kind of creates an inconsistency of I'm always kicking the indoor ball. So that's one thing I think I found that maybe other kickers in the league maybe should try.
No,
But,
no, that doesn't work.
But it's just
We'll edit that. Don't worry.
we can do that.
No, we said
I don't know if they'll take my advice though. So, but so it's all good. But so I just try to do what I can do and what I can control and get out, on the field and just maximize it, and then come in on Friday or Saturday at game day and just be hitting my spots and be a sniper out there and kicks.
Amen. A sniper. I like that. That made me think of a couple of things that now have just left the building, so I'll get back to that. When you do prepare for a game, do you have like a mental process that you go through every single game? Like you get to the arena and then you do this and then you do that and then you do this?
Yeah, so I usually get to the arena, make sure all my stuff in my locker set, ready to go, and I go out on the field and just kind of feel it out and kind of look at my spots in the arena that I usually aim for when I'm kicking, and then just kind of make sure there's nothing kind of out on the field, just kind of make sure it's all clean and ready to go. It's a new turf. Fantastic. I love it.
You don't have to worry about the little
Yeah. So
waves.
I love that. And I just listen to some music and then get ready to go. We usually have like an hour and a half or so in there that we can just get ready before the 2-hour mark or 90-minute mark before the game.
So the thing I was going to say before was, and yet even as a kicker, and I don't mean even as, but as a kicker, you also have to tackle sometimes. Sometimes you're the last line of defense. If that kick returner gets through, you're there. And I'm always like, no, don't hurt his foot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like I've done pretty well at making some tackles.
Yes.
I was really kind of upset that one against, I think it was Arizona, that got through. Or I think it was Arizona or Tulsa.
I think it was Tulsa.
Tulsa. Yeah, it was Tulsa.
Yeah.
That was the overtime game. So, yeah, I was upset that one got through because that's the first one that's really gotten past me.
Got past you.
So,
Yeah. Well, and you have time to prepare down there, right? Because you can see it all developing and coming your way, and so you can prepare a little bit better.
yeah.
But, yeah, kudos, because do you get recorded tackles? Do you get
Yeah, I
that?
have a few recorded titles. I think I had 7 last year, and I got like 2 this year. 3. Yeah.
Wow. Look
I
at
think
you.
I maybe only got credit for 1.5 this year, but I had
Nice.
a couple.
We'll get that adjusted. too.
What else you got for him, right?
I wanted to ask the tackle question. Do you dread that part of the game or no?
I mean, I don't want to tackle,
Right.
but I also don't want somebody to score,
Yeah.
so do whatever it takes to get
Yeah.
them down.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. The other thing I had for you is, and it happened with Fishers in this last game, they hit the Jumbotron, and, you never want to do that because it gives an advantage
Yep.
to the other team. But how do you prepare? All these arenas are different. They all have a different setup. So when you get there, you have only so much time on the field to kind of evaluate an arc and all of that. Is it truly that? Are you doing some
I really just
science or-
try to
Avoid it?
eliminate the Jumbotron, so I just avoid it, and that's why I kick off all the way basically to the numbers.
Okay.
And yeah, the ball gets close to the Jumbotron, but I figured a way to clear it, and then
Well, don't share that. Don't give them any
if
more.
they can't figure it out,
Maybe they shouldn't be kicking.
I don't know. Yeah, and then on some of the longer field goals, the ball or the Jumbotron could get in the way. If you're playing at Mass, it's lower. It's really kind of, there's not really anything we could do, which I would like a rule change in the league. Maybe we can spot the ball a little wider. Would be nice.
Well, Todd, you're on the clock.
Yeah. But Quad Cities is nice and open. But yeah, I really just eliminate the Jumbotron entirely by just going outside of it and kicking at more of an angle. But
So let's talk a little bit about something that's new in the league, and it's something that you have definitely made your mark with, and that's the deuce. You don't do it on every kickoff.
Do you?
That's planned, right? Is that the goal? Is that always the goal?
we want to hit the deuce on every kickoff. That's what
Okay.
we've been doing, and I'm going to make a few adjustments, and we'll be
Okay.
getting ready to go.
Because it looks like, it's so no.
I mean,
short.
they're still pretty darn good kickoffs.
Yeah, they
just
are.
with the hang time, and
Yep.
they're dropping right at that back wall. So, and our coverage team did great this last week. I think other than that first one, but we got them.
Yeah.
I think down in pretty much inside the 15 all
Right.
night long.
Which helps. That's
Yeah.
huge. That's huge.
Yeah, I would like to get them at the 5.
Yeah.
And then I see every kickoff that I don't make through the deuce. That's 2 points I left out on the field. So, there's, if we had 9 kickoffs, and it could have had 18 more points on the board if I was super hot and knocked all of them through. So, so I at least want to make a lot more than what I have been. So
That makes sense. Total sense.
yeah.
What do you got anything for us? You want to ask any questions, or you want to give a shout out to anybody?
And I could give a shout out to so many people. I'll give a shout out to Coach Robe for letting me kick those deuces. It's been a while trying to get him to do that, and finally, after a few games in, he was like, "All right, we're
going now
for it. We're gonna do it."
Well, he's got to have faith that you're going to get there, right? Because the ball, I mean, if you don't get it,
Yeah,
the placement on the field is different. So
yeah, yeah. The placement can be different, and I think he'd be saying right now, "Well, you could do better at squibbing it," which I know I could, but I like kicking it deep, and I like going for points. And I am going to make an adjustment. I have this tee I'm going to try out. And we're going to try a few things and get it there, and then maybe try a few different things in my routine to be a little more ready to go. So I can get the ball 5 more yards further or so.
So when you're doing the squib, that's usually when, we need to make a big impact real quick and turn the game around. How do you practice that? Because I've heard different things about the way to practice it. The idea is that we get possession of that kickoff, right?
That'd be an
the
onside.
goal. Oh, onside.
That'd be
I'm
an
sorry.
onside kick. So squib, say you're in an arena that you really can't do a sky kick or get it up in the air.
You want that bounce.
Yeah, you want the bounce, and so say you could get that ball to bounce. You really want it to bounce right in front of the returners. You don't really want them to get it. And the ideal would be to get it to bounce infield and bounce over the wall, because then it's dead and they get the ball right then and there. So, and then there's no return, which is nice.
So how do you practice a squib? You just...
Well, it's kind of that's what the thing about it is. And every time I squib, the ball ends up rolling sideways, and it rolls down there so nice to the returner.
And he just picks it up.
Yeah, and he just picks it up and runs. And for some reason, maybe I hit it too hard or something, and it just rolls end over, and then it doesn't bounce. And so, and it's such a fine line, whether you're squibbing and you're hitting the ball, because at the beginning of the year, I hit a couple over the wall that were just liners, and it's like, man, that's a great kick, but it's a squib that's going 65, and I need it to go 58.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, it's just a fine line, and I've been just making sure I get it in the field of play, and so then it bounces a little earlier and then rolls down. But ideally, we want it to bounce right in front of the returner and either bounce over the wall and make him miss, have to go back, try to get a rouge and get some points on a kickoff too if we tackle him inside the end zone. So.
Yeah. So then let's switch to the onside, because we had an onside kick that Fisher tried, but we recovered. When you do an onside kick, are you aiming for someone? So I've heard different things. I've heard that some coaches will take and put that you're kicking at the chest plate of a player so that it bounces off the player and back to our team. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess that's a way to do it, because not too many guys are quick enough to grab it and get it if it hits the chest plate.
Yeah, and that ball could be coming out of there 60, 70 miles an hour
right.
at a guy
So
10 yards away. So
that's fast. That's fast. So I mean, how do you practice those to make sure that it ends up back in our hands?
Yeah, so there's so many variety of kicks that we can do. A lot of guys end up doing the one hoppers, which is what we're seeing. They just drill it right into the ground, because there's, like, if you did that outside, they could just fair catch it. But being indoor, there's no fair catch rule. And so depending on how big that guy's one hopper is, whether he's getting it all the way to that wall or if it's going to the numbers, or whether if it's a short one hopper and it goes right to the middle. You can also do the traditional, and then there's a few other kicks that some kickers haven't done yet that I know are available.
So do you, in practice, because we must practice that, right? So in practice, you're the kicker of the other team?
Yeah.
And
yeah, I just kind of spray it all over the field,
You do?
make sure
Okay.
we're going through our cues and making sure this guy's doing the right thing and that guy's doing the right thing and how they're communicating, and then shifting back and forth if need be. So it's really, really important, because that's what secures games away when other teams
Absolutely.
are trying to get the ball back.
Absolutely.
So it's
That is a
huge-
make it or break it. When
Yep.
you're down by just one score and you only have, in the IFL, a minute's a long time, but you only have a short period of time that you want to tie it up or go ahead by a few points. That's very critical at the end of a game. So it's definitely something that has to get practiced.
Yeah.
So awesome. All right. So only the coach, you want to give a shout out?
No, I want to give a shout out to the rest of the guys, Mustin, Andrew Carter, all the rest of the O-line, and Max for holding the footballs. Have done a really, really great job. And
He takes pride in that, just so you know. He takes pride in holding that ball.
And he didn't want to do it at the beginning of last year, and I got him to do it, and he loves it now, I think. So it's always great when you're making kicks, and the protection's been fantastic. And shout out to the whole offense and defense for allowing allowing me to do my job, and them getting down the field, tackling guys, and just winning football games together. So it's fun and it's really enjoyable, and I hope the fans love it.
Yeah.
And come to all the games, guys, because we need you guys the rest of the year. And
There's only so many left. There's one this Friday. It's Dairy Night. Then there's one next week, which is what, Ryan?
Military night.
And then you have off at home for a little bit, and then we come back in July, and then that's our
Christmas in July.
Yeah. So he's right. We need you guys in the stands because it's very important. The noise level, although we had, it was a smaller crowd this last game, they were very much into it. We had a lot of high decibel level screamers because they were definitely, at one point, Dixie had to move down the boards a little bit because it was too loud to do his timeout. So sorry, Dixie. That was my section.
Nice.
I wasn't there at the time, but they all let me know how much of an impact they made while I wasn't there. Anyway, what else you got for us? What'd you bring?
I brought my used played-in indoor shoes, so that I've been wearing in the games. So they're a little worn out, so I'm going to get some new ones. And so I'm going to sign them, and I guess the Blizzard are able to do with what they want to do with them. So.
And you're going to break those in before Friday, right? The new ones?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because don't play in new shoes. Yeah, don't play in new shoes. All right. Excellent. Well, thanks for coming out. We appreciate you coming.
Truly.
And where are you originally from?
Indiana.
You're an Indiana guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So when we go play Fishers, are you going to have like a huge crowd there?
I'll have some family there and some friends probably.
Yeah?
And
Okay.
it'll be fun.
Good.
So they'll get to see us
Yeah.
beat Fishers on their home turf. So
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
Well, excellent. Thanks for coming out. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate
It's
it.
been fun. I want to keep making kicks for this organization for a long time. It's good.
Yeah,
Amen.
that's awesome. Thank
Amen.
you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we love these segments, as do our fans, as the commenting has been alluded to on all
Yes.
things there. So there
Yes.
you go. You can keep your wish list coming, but we're in the driver's seat. But we'll continue to bring you great content. So
We will.
speaking of great content and your comments, we did have some, I think, questions internally and from a couple fans regarding the ever-changing, always elusive IFL playoff tiebreakers.
So one of the things that we changed and we approved at league meetings, we talked about, okay, if we've had, hey, conference play is really important since we have these conference games, and then we had to kind of readjust and go, well, wait a minute, because we can't really have enough conference games because of, and we talk about this all the time, especially when the schedule comes out, we can't balance that conference play because of arena availability. So until we get to a point where everybody's arena is available at all the same time that we can balance out conference, we've come up with these as the tiebreakers. So I'm going to read this officially because if I paraphrase it and I say one wrong word, I'm going to get lambasted. So
Wouldn't like so more teams in the correct geographic
Would help.
regions would help that as well, because you just get more buildings and more dates then. So yeah.
exactly,
Yep.
which
Yep.
would help.
Yep.
If they all have the same problem dates,
Yep.
though, then we're
Right.
still in the same, we're still in the same situation.
Yep.
So basically, we changed the playoff seeding format to the following. Member teams with matching winning percentages will be selected on a series of tiebreakers. The first member team having an advantage in tiebreaker categories will be considered the higher seed. In ties involving 3 or more member teams, once a team is eliminated by the tiebreaker process, the process reverts back to step 1 of all the remaining teams. So once you get eliminated, then it's, okay, now the ones that are remaining, we go back to number 1. So these are the orders, the order that it goes through. It's a win-loss percentage, head-to-head record versus opponents involved in the tie, opponent's win percentage, that's the strength of schedule, highest conference win, so that highest conference win is lower than it was in the past, and then head-to-head point differential versus a point involved in the tie, and then point differential for the season, total scored minus total points allowed. So that's the first category. And then if we get through all of that and we still are like, oh, no, we need another one. The second is to determine who the number 1 overall seed is. Now it goes to win-loss percentage, head-to-head record, opponent win percentage, head-to-head point differential, and then, again, that point differential for the season. So lots going on there, and, so much can happen being halfway through the season that we didn't want to run scenarios on this particular show, only because there's so much that could still happen. But what we will do is we're going to bring in our percentages guy, which is Joey Bonadonna. We're going to bring him in after we're done with our military night game. Yep. So once we're done with that game, we'll have him on the following week, and we'll talk through where we're at, what the possible scenarios are for the rest of the season. With Tulsa losing to Quad Cities, though, we now write our destiny. So we don't have to rely on other people. We have to rely on ourselves to win out and just win.
Yep.
So that's what I know from that perspective.
Yeah. I'm not even going to pack the what ifs. We'll leave that to Joey. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, not for us to
mostly
really
because I don't know. So I don't.
All right. What else do we have? We did go see a movie.
We did.
Right before Memorial Day.
Mission Impossible.
We did.
Yep.
It was fabulous. If you like Mission Impossible, it's definitely one to see. We won't give anything away. It's been removed a little bit since it came out, so a lot of people probably have seen it. I liked how it brought all of the other versions of it into this one. Like it was a culmination of all of them.
Yeah. I think he may be done, but I don't think it's done. So he'll pass the reins off to somebody. So
he might appear in something showing a handoff or what have you. But doing his own stunts at his age, he needs to be kind of careful.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they still look fabulous. Don't get me wrong, but he's a little crazy.
Yes, he is.
All right. What else you got?
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
It's an action-packed episode.
It was.
This Friday, Rush Center, Dairy Night. Come on out. Get there early so you can get some photos with the cow.
Doors open at
6. 7:05 kickoff. Dairy dignitaries as well. I won't rattle those all off because Cass and Knapp will yell at me.
Because there's a surprise.
There's a lot of awesome folks there who are, I'm going to call it celebrities in that industry. So, it'll be cool. So we want to come and say hi to them before the game and check out all the pregame stuff on this one. So. Yeah,
and my normal section needs to be on because it's not the normal people sitting in the front row. So I'm relying on you guys to be loud on that end of the field.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, should we hit them with it?
Let's hit them with it.
Go Blizz. Don't forget to like, follow,
subscribe,
share,
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.